The season's on the line. Two receivers left and right. McCown takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Touchdown!
What is up? Welcome to the Bush League Sports Show. We are the best be-ready sports show live on Facebook and YouTube every Monday night at 8:45. We are 1 minute late tonight, and I feel pretty good about it. I'm pretty excited. I'm here in Studio 725 with Dr. Moonlight Graham. My boy Pepper is back in action tonight. Stat Guy wearing the Cardinals hat, and Produce over there who's wearing a hat tonight, also wearing the Novel Coffee Roasters hoodie, repping once again for the second out of 3 weeks. Rockin' Novel. What a phenomenal coffee shop. If you've not been there before, it is in Flower Mound, located at
$24.99 and $30.40.
$24.99 and $30.40 on the corner. Go check it out. Get Produce to roast you some beans. What do you guys have specials right now?
And I'll roast you as a person.
Not only will you roast your beans, but he will roast you as a human. Not like cook and eat you.
He'll roast
like
your beans.
The metaphorical roasting where people laugh at you while he's saying very kind, mean things to you during the process.
That's a 2-for-1.
It is
a twofer.
It's a twofer. You can drink your coffee while he roasts you and while everyone else enjoys laughing at you. Who wouldn't want that?
Nobody
wouldn't want that.
There's probably a few people.
I don't know. Only, here's what I'll say. If you can't handle, like, going in and getting roasted by Produce himself, the can't holder, that's chuff enough. You know what I mean? Like, that just ain't right.
Dropping it right off the bat.
Hey, welcome to the show. The whole point, HOLEPOINTE, of the show is for you as a fan to get to participate in the conversation about the hot topics in sports that are going on today, this week, this month. The reason that we started the show was because we wanted to be five sports fans and athletic event fans. What are we pointing at? That camera.
You're looking at the wrong camera.
My bad, guys. Dang. I was doing good not watching myself. A lot of times I do this because I'm like, this looks so cool. It's so cool. Stop. Okay.
That's me on the TV.
That's me. Look, Mom. I'm going fast.
We finally made it.
All right. So, again, we're not the experts, but we are the best. We're the experts. We've given you the voice of the Bushies and the ability to push the bush, which means share the show. So share the show, write a comment, share your thoughts. When we hit the rundown that's going to be up in a minute that you can see, you can read and see what's going on right now, what's coming up. Gather your thoughts and share them on the show because we care about you and your thoughts. So share them. Stat Guy will be reading them and letting us know what we need to comment to. If we don't catch it during the show, we will go back during the week, comment and respond. You can also follow us at BL Sports Show. There's an S in the middle, Sports plural show on Instagram. Great memes, funny memes, debates, things like that. You can throw your thoughts in there as well. We've had some phenomenal hate mail as of late in the comment thread on Instagram.
That means we're doing something right.
We're doing something right. If somebody doesn't love you and somebody doesn't hate you, you haven't done it right. Period.
Yeah, it can't be lukewarm.
You cannot. It's either hot or cold. Or you get spewed out of the mouth. I feel like somebody really important said that one time.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So, share the show. And, Produce, you want to give us the rundown since I've been gabbing for 4 minutes?
Okay.
Camera angle looking tasty once again.
Once again.
Always.
Catching that window.
Here we go. How's that?
Yeah.
How do you like that window? We're talking about the NFL Combine. Murray, Bosa, whichever
Bosa.
you prefer. Okay, Bosa. So I was wrong, as usual.
That's normal.
We're talking about Oakland. Jason Witten is coming back.
Boom.
Talking about the old donk. LeBron, Celtics, Rockets, Warriors, Bryce Harper. Yeah, some more MLB stuff, and then we're also talking about NHL. For some reason, it's a Christmas miracle.
It's a miracle. I don't know. That was weird. I'm sorry.
I like Christmas.
It's slightly insensitive towards Italian people.
I started going Italian and then I stopped and then it was just weird.
So it's racially ambiguous. I'm going to stop talking. Whoa.
That was strong. That was strong.
Ambiguous. That's what it was.
There it is. It was close.
My dad said, hey, he was on the show last week. Was a highlight for him, so thanks for letting him be here.
He was
loved
funny.
it. My dad is a funny character.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So it
sure.
was phenomenal. Andrew Wagner, what up, buddy? And then Maddie McGraw is watching the show.
Hey, my shirt says I can do all things. This is a Steph Curry Under Armour special.
Huh.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Okay.
So,
Did he wear that shirt?
Steph Curry did not wear this shirt. Also, I cannot do all things
But
in
fair
the
enough.
sense of sports,
fair enough.
because that's not what that was meant for.
Correct. Can you put the rundown on the screen so
lay
I
rundown?
can see it?
Yeah, I can put it up there if
The
we're going to
rundown.
dive right into it.
Yeah, so Philippians 4:13 was not meant for sports in any form or fashion. We talked about that last week. Tebow throws on the verses on the face, wears it for a whole season. We think that Jesus was like, hey, Paul, you watching this right now? You're getting quoted again. And then when he changed it and went with a red letter verse, Jesus was like, oh, I can work with this. Thank you. Paul, move on over. Get out of my chair. Okay, Combine recap. The Combine happened. The most exciting thing that happens in the month of March is the NFL Combine.
Hey, hockey, like the race to the hockey playoffs is going on.
Let me repeat. Stroke number
How many is that? We got the
59.
corner.
Let me repeat my phrase. The NFL Combine is the most exciting sporting event that happens in the month of March. Now, athletic event, no. You're correct. Hockey would be far more exciting than anything else that happens athletically in the month of March. At all. I hope I just ticked everybody off today.
The
I'm looking at
combine
the
is
wrong
brutal.
camera again.
I will
Oh my
say
gosh,
one-
it is so boring.
I will say one thing in defense of hockey. It's cool when they do the games outside, like at a stadium.
Hey,
That's cool.
January 1st, 2020 here in Dallas.
Seriously?
Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to NHL.
Not as
Okay,
cool,
cool.
when it's here, though.
Yeah. But let's recap the Combine.
Yeah, because it's hot here.
The
Is
biggest-
my mic on?
I hope not.
Okay.
The biggest thing that happened was they measured Kyler Murray, and he's 5'10", not
Is it on
shorter.
now? Okay.
So this was hilarious. So that came out on Thursday. My mother, who is my office manager, she fills in on Thursdays
Okay.
at the office, and we have ESPN on all day. The next night,
Can we do a shout out real quick?
hi mom, she quoted every statistic for Kyler Murray, because they literally, like, every 20 minutes they would come back on and say breaking news. He measured at 5'10" and 1/8, because apparently
Yeah.
that 1/8 makes a huge difference.
Guys, when you're not tall, you take every 16th of an inch into account. 5'7" and a half.
If that first number is a 5, then
Yes.
you take into account every number.
You will
they
add
give
all
you.
numbers
Yeah.
to the end.
Would you go with the 16th?
Absolutely. If somebody said how tall are you and I was 5'7" and a 16th, I would say I'm 5'7" and a 16th. Why? Because it's funny.
Unless you're 5'9" and 15th, 16th, then you round up to 5'10".
Yeah, you round up to 6 feet
Oh, yeah.
in a program. Like if it's a
Oh,
football
absolutely.
program, you're like I'm 6'1" in a football program, and then you get on the field, you're like, the dude's 5'7", right?
No, it's just
Yes.
because everybody else is so tall.
Yeah, I just
doesn't
look
work
short.
out.
We just have a really big team, so I look short compared to everybody else.
Tyson gave a shout out to Kyler Murray for being 1/8 inch taller than him.
Hey, congratulations, Tyson and Kyler. So apparently that now cements him as the number 1 draft pick, not because he's a good football player, but because he's not shorter than they thought he might have been.
Yes,
They're like, oh, he's 5'10", he's safe now to draft early. What?
because
official.
that made such a huge difference.
It's a major game changer for Kyler Murray. Why? Because I don't know. Can he see any better than a guy who's 5'9" and 15/16?
Yes,
That much.
those that 1/8.
There
or
it
I guess
is.
1/4.
Yeah.
1/4 of an inch. Is that 1/4? No, that's 3/16. 3/16 of an inch difference.
Apparently, Blake Snodgrass just said you do that on Match and Tinder as well.
You round up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, apparently that is a big deal on dating apps, is that you've got to put your height on there.
Absolutely.
Well, since there's only one guy who's on a dating app around here, Stat Guy, is that true?
Not on a dating app.
No. I thought you were. We're definitely signing him up tonight.
Sure I'm not.
Yeah, that's coming. Okay. Regardless, Ian Daniels, what's up, man? So Kyler Murray measures out, but he didn't participate in anything other than measurements. They measured him. They weighed him. They measured his hands. He's 207. He's gained 15 pounds in
That's
the last 3
impressive.
months. That's a lot of poundage.
But there's also a lot of factors that can go into that. You can,
Food.
yep,
Close.
water, clothes. I wish that we had video of them measuring and weighing.
Do they?
He's got to not have.
This is a stupid question. Do they let them wear more than underwear
I
when
don't
they get
think
on the
so.
scale?
I couldn't imagine that.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's like, do they let? Was he wearing shoes when they
When they
measured
measured.
his height?
I want to see,
somebody
do
asked
they
that.
measure to his hair or to his head?
His hair's not that tall.
It can be.
It's not like Mahomes.
Hey, that's that 1/8 inch right there.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that
maybe
got
so.
I think that got him over 5'10".
all I know is
Russell Wilson can do it.
his Kyler Murray's performance at the combine. He did nothing athletically but get measured, and now they're like the talk about him being number one is so much harder than it was a week ago because of his height and his weight, which the weight was a big deal. To go from and not being like less than 190 and being 207, that's huge.
And in that 1/8 inch made the Cardinals go from Rosen's our guy to see ya.
Yeah, later, bro.
Maybe this isn't the right person.
Yeah, Tyson Lenarose just said.
to Arizona.
Tyson just said, hearing Kyler to Arizona,
Wait.
trade Rosen to Washington.
Stacka, do you like Kyler Murray?
OU to Arizona.
Yep.
Oh yeah, have a mic.
That was on
OU
purpose.
to Arizona.
Yeah, let's use your mic. This is a podcast,
Guys,
so
it's just
with-
been a day.
really?
Well, no, not really. Just I've been trying to get these stats for Dr. Graham.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, we said that
Yeah, we did.
at least 4 days ago.
Yeah. So the confusion on the text, I was not debating that you did or did not say that. You did say that. I was saying that it is now pretty much confirmed via Cliff, saying that he
Yeah.
has used the words "done deal."
Yeah. So we're just gonna go back and share with the people what happened. We have a text thread that goes on
all day.
all the time. Like
Way too often.
this is how this started, was with a text thread, and it just progressed. I mean, there was some other things that happened, but that was a key component. We've had a text thread for literally years, has been going on.
Produce
So-
never checks it.
In the text thread, it's a family show over there, buddy.
That's why that camera's not on me.
I know. In the text thread, Dr. Moonlight sent a message that said, "Hey, Cliff is now saying we are taking Murray number one. Like it's a done deal. Nobody ever does that."
No.
And so he says that, and I responded with, "I feel like somebody said that like a week ago." And then it kind of went back and forth. It got a little hot for a minute. So
I know that has been your stance for weeks now.
Okay.
I was just saying that like now word is coming through the media saying that this
Okay.
is pretty because everybody has been speculating that because Cliff has
Yeah.
stated in the past that he really likes Murray and would draft him number one.
in
Now,
October of
yeah.
2018, he said that.
there's a lot of other factors that have to go into it. The GM has to be on board because the GM is the one who makes
Right.
the call, not the coach.
Right.
Unless your name is Belly
But
Bill
however,
Belly
Or
when they hired Cliff,
or Jerry Jones. He's not a coach.
when Arizona hired Cliff, when Steve, is that his name? Steve, the GM for Arizona.
Yes, that's his name.
When Steve hired Cliff, they knew they had the number one pick, and they knew he'd made that statement. So
Uh-huh.
there had to have been a conversation during interviews specifically about that. So they've probably been in talks. They have been. To say probably is a dumb statement. That's ignorant. They have been in conversations. I haven't been at the table, but clearly. Regardless, what I'm trying to own right now is the fact that I initially thought that you were bagging on me, and it took a little while to get to like, oh, now I get it. You're just saying that it's being validated, the opinion we had
Yes.
a week ago or further, that yes, it's true. So I apologize for my stupidity in the text thread today.
I don't always try to argue.
I know, but
Only sometimes.
if anybody argues, it's you and I in
Sometimes.
the text thread.
That is true.
But I think we handle
argue,
it well.
We argue 60% of the time, every time.
Correct.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
What else happened at the combine?
So DK, and I don't remember his last name.
Met-
Dude is
Metcalf? Metcalf?
Metcalf.
DKM. That Joker's huge. He's
Yeah.
6'4", 227. He's 1.6% body fat, and he ran a 4.4.
2? 4.44.
4.43
Stat guy?
at the combine.
DK
I
Metcalf.
don't know how he is that lean. That's amazing.
That's incredible.
1.6?
That's incredible. He played at Ole Miss. He was the number 2 receiver at Ole Miss this last year. Didn't have a really productive season. However, that's not that big of a deal.
4.33.
4.33. He ran. That's right. He was just over Andy Isabella, who ran a 4.31, who we'll get to in a minute that I want to talk
But
about.
this guy comes from a genealogy of football players.
Dude's a freak of nature.
Two generations? Or
I
was
think
it?
so.
Don't know,
I
but
knew
he's
it was
a freak of nature.
I knew he's got at least 2 relatives. I think it was.
What's up, George?
I'm not sure which.
What
one.
up, George?
Yeah, he is. He's incredible. So Ian Daniels, I want to go back a step. Don't forget the hand size on Kyler Murray. They're not large. Okay.
But they're larger than mine.
They're not large, but clearly they're large enough to throw on the run from the wrong foot and toss a bomb 52 yards in the air.
Yeah. We say it's not large in terms of football, but go home and measure your hands, which they measure from the tip of the thumb to the tip of the pinky. And I measure like 7 3/4. His hands are almost 2 inches larger than mine.
Okay, he's fine.
Yeah.
He's totally fine. Mine are not. I have the hands of a 9-year-old child. So mine.
I have the correct palm size. I just have short, stubby fingers.
I have hands.
In case you're at a disadvantage with the bent pinky.
Yeah, it's
bending
even shorter.
in, yeah.
It's even shorter. It helps when I throw a baseball because I don't touch the ball
There you go.
with it at all.
Nice.
So,
Less friction.
Ian Daniels worked with me at Watermark. He's an English guy, loves the show. We are reaching past just the town of Flower Mound, and we are going global. We've made it all the way across
That's
the pond.
always the next
to
step
having a fan
Out of
from
Flower Mound.
Europe.
Hello.
Is he
That's
in,
worse
Hello,
than my Boston
governor.
accent, and it's bad.
is he in Europe now?
No, I think he's in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't matter. If you were born there, our reach is that far.
We're claiming it.
Period. Period. Okay, so DK Metcalf, dude's a freak of nature. Don't know if it's going to develop into anything, if he'll have a long career or not, but he's huge.
Correction,
So-
only his dad played. There's
Okay.
another Metcalf in the league right now, and
Unrelated.
yes.
Well, that's fair.
His dad was,
Speculation.
what,
There's
offensive lineman?
There's speculation. Yes, he was a
I
O-line.
think I read that.
So Andy Isabella is a guy that played for Massachusetts, and he's
Good program.
5'9".
UMass.
He's 5'9", 186. He ran a 4.31, and he's white. Stupid fast. He played on the outside for UMass. They're saying, I read an article yesterday, they said, hey, New England has found its next slot receiver.
Yeah.
I disagree strongly because they drafted their next slot receiver last year, 6th round, out of Miami, Braxton Berrios. Braxton is 5'8". He's 187, I believe. He ran a 4.41 last year, so he's not as fast as Isabella. It may have been a 4.44. That's what it was. He ran a 4.44 last year, but his cone drill was actually 20. It was a 3.72. Isabella ran a 3.96 cone drill.
So
and a
2
slot
tenths.
guy, 2/10. A slot guy he makes his living in the middle, cuts, clean routes, things like that. So his ability to go back and forth, and that the cone drill is actually a better marker for a slot receiver than a straight 40. And so, and Isabella played on the outside. He's been meeting with Randy Moss. He's been training with him.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good, and played for New England. So he's been training with Moss to go into the inside because he knows he's going to have to move. But at the same time, New England's not going to go draft a guy high when they already have a guy that they've invested in. He's made $500,000 with them this last year, waiting and being trained to stick in there. And he's actually faster in the cone drill than Isabella.
So imagine that.
Coach.
I mean, imagine that people would actually draft smart. Maybe Jerry Jones should take notes.
And not just based on a 40 time.
And 40 time is stupid anyway.
Well, okay.
Ish.
So the D lineman, something Sweat.
Montez.
Thank you.
This was impressive.
Montez. Montez Sweat broke the all-time record for defensive linemen in the 40. He ran a 4.41. 4.42. I'm sorry.
How big is he?
He is 6'4",
290?
240.
Oh, 240.
I think he's
That's pretty
240.
lightweight.
I thought he was
He's-
like 280.
Yeah. I
No,
think
he's not 280. The guy that broke it before him,
Is that guy?
Montez Sweat.
Are you listening to the podcast?
the guy that had the record before, he ran a 4.43. His name is Manny Lawrence, also known as Emmanuel Lawrence. He ran that in 2006.
He's 245.
He
6'6".
played. He's how? He's 6'6".
6'6", 245.
That being that tall, that's incredible. So I was close on the weight. Lawrence ran it. He was 260 and ran a. Is that a tenth? No, it's a hundredth of a second slower. 4.43 and a 4.42.
Yeah, it's 1/100th.
Okay. But he played until 2016. So he played for 10 years, and he got knocked out of the league because of domestic abuse issue, and so he got cut by Buffalo, and he was done. So he would have played longer. So that was his outstanding stat, and this guy is a little bit faster, but not as big. So it's kind of like, and they moved him to outside linebacker, so he didn't end up playing D-line. He played linebacker instead. He played
Which
for
this guy
Buffalo.
could very well do the same at
Yeah.
at those.
Yeah.
He's maybe
So-
a little. Yeah. That's a big
It's a big-
lineman. I tell you who can't throw over that.
Say it.
Me.
Kyler Murray.
Oh.
Ah,
Coach Jimmy. No, okay.
Coach Jimmy could throw over anybody.
Yeah.
Coach Jimmy
you're
can do
right.
all things through Christ.
Don't you ever say that again. Ever. Coach Jimmy loves Jesus. He hates it when people misuse or quote verses.
Word.
Passionately hates it.
But Coach Jimmy can do all things in sports
That's true.
Facts.
because of talent.
Because of and sweatbands.
Yeah, more
so
power.
It's actually more bands than it is talent because he's only 5'7" and a half officially, and his hand size is not large.
Or is he 5'7" and 9/16?
He's not. But we can measure him later if you guys would like to.
Yeah, we should get
fun.
some stats on
We
that.
should have done our own combine.
We said that last year.
We did, and we didn't do it.
We're really good at not following through with things we say we're gonna do.
I think we should not do it during the combine. We should do it at a different time where it's like nothing is happening.
After
Fine,
the-
let's do it now.
Hockey season.
So during the combine time,
Yep, I think that's a great idea. Tyson Lenarose, his wife was born in Holland, and so we've reached all the way there. Julia Maffiett is watching. She lives
Mafia.
in Canada,
Maffiett.
pretty much.
Maffiett.
You know, you guys know
Julia
how
Maffiett.
how I don't finish words sometimes,
Uh-huh.
and I just like
Just
I
trail
assume
off.
everybody knows. Yeah,
Oxygen
Julia.
Yeah.
he
preservation.
starts it. He's like, "All right, I got
Yeah,
this word.
you're fine.
Nope, we're done."
you're good. We're gonna keep moving. Anything else from the combine that we want to talk about that happened that was fun? You sent something. The guy with the suit that always runs the 40.
No, that's not. He was on the picture, but that's not.
That's
what
what I
it was.
thought
No, it was the fact. I don't remember the guy's name. I have to pull it up. But basically, Seattle had this linebacker go into a staring contest as part of his interview. That was like one of the tests they wanted for him was how long he could stare at somebody
Okay.
without blinking.
Okay.
Quality.
They asked one guy about his groin.
Well, that would be our question.
Hey, tell us about your loin.
How like if you had to grade your loin,
On a scale of LeBron to good, how
If you were to race Lebroin versus your own loin, who would win?
Who would it be? So I was gonna put this in one of the text not the text thread. I was gonna put it on the Instagram because I was gonna do a combine Instagram because Monty Sweat. I was like, if you lined him up against that, this is cool. Odell Beckham, Ezekiel Elliott, and who was the third one? There was another one that was listed. He outran all three of those guys.
it was OBJ.
It was OBJ, Zeke Elliott, and
Um,
There was a third big name.
Antonio Brown.
Yes, and AB outran all three of them in the 40.
Yeah.
So Odell was the closest, and he had to pass him at the end, like the last 10 yards. He passed him in the simulator thing, but still outran him. So, regardless, Julia Mafia,
Who?
Yep, Mafia, J-Moff, does not live in Canada.
Might as well.
I don't know why she said that.
It's basically
I
Canada.
told her that because we were trying to reach more countries. So I said she pretty much lives in Canada.
There's nothing
so
wrong with Canada.
We're reaching that country too.
Okay.
It was -50 in South Dakota today,
That's cold.
or it felt like -50.
That's cold.
Anything above Oklahoma is Canada to me.
Amen.
Anything above Denton.
Honestly, right
Anything
around
above
the Amarillo line, and
Yeah. Amarillo line.
It better be above. It better be.
that,
Shout out.
that highway goes right through. It
Shout
might be
out
that
to-
highway divider.
Shout out to Amarillo and the Sod Poodles.
That's a pretty Canadian sounding name.
You're darn right it is. Sod Poodles, eh?
They got some nice powder blues.
Dude, if y'all haven't checked out the Amarillo Sod Poodles, the Padres AA team that has now moved to Amarillo, they have got their uniforms out. They've got a white home, obviously, like everybody does. They have a gray away, but they have a powder blue alternative jersey that is sick. I DM'd them yesterday. I'm trying to get them to wear the red hats with the powder blue jerseys.
Yeah,
And I'm actually trying to get them to send us some things. And then eventually I'd like for them to bring us into town to commentate a game.
I told you I'm working on that.
Okay,
He's still at the Padres camp right now though, so he doesn't have any Sod Poodle gear.
that's fine. Well, but I'm trying to get us in the stadium with mics.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Is where I'm trying to get us.
Let's do it.
So we are now huge Sod Poodle fans.
Big.
Because we want in the stadium. Well, and we're fans. So
And then I'll see if we can interview Potts.
that would be awesome.
That'll be our first international show. Doing
Yeah.
a show in Canada.
Hey, flip the camera to you.
That's all right.
Oh, sheesh.
Classic.
Classy.
He just roasted your beans.
Classy roasted beans. See, if you can't handle that, if you can't chuff and handle that, you're not right.
That's just a sample.
Ooh, Tyson says you should throw out the
Hey,
first pitch.
that would be sick.
The first pitch.
Done.
What's going to be funny is if I got to do that, I'd be the first guy to ever throw out a pitch in a full uniform. and warm up. Like, I get warm up pitches. I want to be the whole I'm walking out of the back, they open the gate, I'm walking in.
There better be a batter ready to go.
with his gold pants.
Yep, and I will be pitching the first inning.
And the
Fun fact.
and the batter will be Coach Jimmy
I like it. I'm going
Who
to
will
pitch
then?
and hit.
and Field.
So you guys asked me to throw out the first pitch. I'd like to hit the first pitch, and I'll field it, and I'm going to need to run the bases. Don't need a coach. I got that. Powder blues.
Powder blues,
That's what
red
I'm
hat.
talking about.
Because powder blues with navy blue hat does not look good.
Hey, Blake Snodgrass, we're going to see the Sod Poodles play against the Frisco Rough Riders.
I will definitely be there.
Yep, we're going to that game. Zzz.
So who's going number one?
Kyler Murray.
It's a done deal.
Oh, I don't know why we put the question mark.
I
then.
couldn't find
Well,
it.
we put that on there before that came out. So that
Sir,
Oh,
Yeah,
you.
OU
To Arizona.
to Arizona.
But I think there is a strong argument that Bosa should go number one. He is an impressive player.
And that's the argument.
Bosa is good, and
I
his
think he's
brother's
a-
good too.
I think overall he is a better player than Murray. I think he's a better football player.
We are in the position we were in last year where we were looking at it and we were going, Shea Quads is a better
Better football player.
overall. He's the football player.
Correct.
But I'm a huge Baker fan, and so I love the fact that Baker went one. I used to hate OU. I'm now a huge OU fan. I don't know what happened to me, but it shifted. Like all of a sudden, I like OU and Clemson. I'm like, what just happened in my life?
Dabo Sweeney.
Yeah,
And
dude,
Baker
that
Mayfield.
guy, Dabo Sweeney. I've said this
That's what
before.
happened.
That guy is a quality man. Like that dude. I love that guy. Love Baker too. Love his attitude. The whole thing just makes me go, oh yeah, come on, number one. I look at this one and I go, eh. I like the fact that OU will have yet another number one going to Arizona. I like Cliff. I like Arizona. I like Stat Guy. I like their uniforms. I like Larry Fitzgerald
Big fan.
Yes.
a lot. I liked the Honey Badger, except he don't play there anymore.
No.
They should bring him back.
Really should.
But I think Nick Bosa is probably this year a better choice for number one.
I love that Fitzgerald quote that he did about AB having a quarterback who's as talented as Ben and how lucky he was to have Ben. Did y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So is that like a stab at his quarterbacks that he's had, or was it just? That's kind of what it felt like when he
A little
said.
half and half,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you got super lucky
Man.
for having this awesome quarterback.
Exactly.
I had half an awesome quarterback
Yeah, I think
who was old.
I think it's a combo. It's
Once.
a combo.
Once.
He wishes he's had that talented, but also like AB, I think needs to stop whining so much about his time in Pittsburgh. They were a good team, and he's mad that he didn't get enough balls.
AB was on a good team. And I got burned for this last week. I don't like Ben. I don't like Big Ben. I just don't. If you want to throw your thoughts in on Big Ben, that's great. But AB was in a good environment. Big Ben can get the ball to him, and he did. Like, he was very productive. That's fine. And then they had Bell, like that 1-2 combo right there. That's a phenomenal combo to have. Would Rodgers have done better with that? We don't even care.
Sure don't.
The only reason I asked that question on the Instagram was to get more people shouting out and yelling about things.
And it worked.
Because
And
when
it worked.
When we talk about Rodgers, people get mad.
They get livid.
It's great.
It's awesome. And what's funny, like, people don't really consistently follow what we're doing because we'll say something about Rodgers and all the Rodgers fans get mad at us. And then we'll come back and we'll say something about Brady. And so all the Brady fans get mad at us. And then we just remain neutral. And then we start fights on Instagram, which is, I'm not trying to create, I'm just trying to create more activity.
Content.
Yeah, it's a debate. So I don't like it when people start cussing each other and saying like super derogatory things about each other. Like, that's stupid.
Right.
I don't care if people say things to us.
But it's the internet.
Yeah, it's the internet and people just say whatever they want. It's crazy what people will say.
Tyson has a good point. I do think Antonio Brown needs to explain the mustache. I commented that in the text thread, and you liked it, which now your opinion is dead to me.
Hi, Rebecca.
That bleached mustache.
It was a little controversial.
Yeah, it is
Hey,
gross. It
guys.
looks like he forgot to wipe peanut butter off.
Guys, I was just trying to
I like peanut
participate
butter.
in the thread. I wasn't actually I'll be honest, I didn't even look at it. When I saw it, I looked at the picture like briefly and I was like, I don't see a mustache, and I moved on.
And
And
you
then I was
look-
like, I like it.
You look who sent the original text. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
it's Blake. Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
disagree.
never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just whatever. So, but yes, AB, before he signs with another team, he must publicly address the mustache.
Maybe we should make a dare on it that if he does or doesn't do something, then one of us has to do it. Maybe Blake.
Fine.
Oh,
Guys,
no.
I'll
no.
dye a mustache. I'll grow one and dye it if he doesn't address it. Or if he does. If he addresses the mustache, I will grow a mustache for 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
And I will dye it blonde for
Blonde.
week number 9.
Wait, isn't
Number
that
9.
8 weeks?
No. I just shaved on Friday.
Oh, okay.
I had to go to a gala.
Yeah, you did.
Dressed up and everything. It was a fundraiser. It was amazing.
Fun fact, the Sod Poodles will be here in Frisco May 16th through May 19th.
Boom.
We needed the soundboard on that to
And-
go.
May 28th
Was that
through
ever a
May
thing?
30th.
No, I just
Nope.
meant like we needed it then. That was the only time we needed it. You dyed both hairs. That was mean, Tyson Lenarose. Guys, I can grow like
Can you?
One time I grew a beard. I grew a beard and then I shaved it all except for the mustache, and I had long hair, so I took a picture and I looked like I'd been arrested for something not appropriate. And so I took that picture and we made my mother-in-law a calendar for the year. And so on my birthday,
Oh.
I stuck that one right there on the calendar. It was awesome. I thought it was funny. You guys don't even care. Whatever.
We're laughing on the inside.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
Well, we got
No,
to
you're not.
There's so much happiness and laughter just within us.
Bottled.
Hey, will you put the camera on you again?
No.
Okay. Just know in my heart, I'm telling you something.
You're number one.
Not with a pinky. This one's bent. You're number half. Take that. Okay, Jags losing faith in Bortles.
No.
No way.
Darn.
Say it ain't so.
I wanted to call him Bro something because I misspelled it the first
Brodels.
time. Brodels. Can we call him that? What's up, Brodels? Meh.
Say it ain't so.
Really didn't take
I
off.
will not
So Nick
go.
Foles is going to go to the Jags.
Apparently.
Why is all this information coming out so much earlier this year than like it's like baseball like wouldn't give us anything.
Well,
And football's like, oh,
There you go.
season's over. Info.
So riddle me
this,
Okay.
Batman.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's Batman?
So they're not allowed to talk to these people until next Monday. And so I don't know how all this information is coming out. I don't know who's leaking it because technically they're all breaking the rules by coming up with these. Well, teams can talk to each other, but a team
Right.
cannot talk to a free agent until Monday.
Correct. March the 7th.
And he's going to be a free agent. So I don't know
He's
how
going to
they're
sign on the 7th.
I don't know how that's possible.
Can an agent talk to a team?
No, because that's he is
Can a player's wife talk to a team?
Can you talk via Morse code?
I love talking to Morse code.
Can they ask about your groin?
In Morse code.
yeah.
Was that a G or an L? Did you say groin or loin? Definitely said loin. Definitely.
Did
we
you
should
ask
we
yourself
should
a
learn the
question?
Morse code for loin and groin.
We should do an entire episode in Morse code.
That sounds exhausting.
No. Quick shout out to Dallas Blonde, brewed here in Deep Ellum. Where's this actually brewed at?
In Deep Ellum.
Oh.
Imagine that.
I got something right. That's the first thing I got right all day.
Ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Since being on the show, that's the first thing I said right.
Except they are no longer a locally independent brewery.
Well,
So, but shout out to Celestial Beer Works
yeah.
because they are
Come
a independent brewery and they make fantastic IPAs.
Why are they? Who bought them?
There was a large conglomerate that bought part of ownership, so they are no longer 100% independently owned.
Dallas Blonde, done with you.
They also changed the recipe on this,
dead
and
to
I don't
me.
like it as much. It's still it is still a fantastic beer. I'm not saying don't drink that.
Okay, I'll drink it.
It's very good,
Okay.
but I don't think it's as good as it used to. They had a virus in their yeast, so they had to change their yeast strains. What in the world?
That was Morse code for groin and loin.
It was what?
Morse code for groin and loin.
Well,
Morse
first you said
chord.
Morse chord.
Want to hear it again?
Is that you?
You sound like a dolphin.
That's
Well,
like that's a holder beat right there.
Someone tell Stat Guy he's not allowed to play sounds that are not mic'd on the show.
No one else can hear it.
I think he's just playing my EP. I think
I'm
that's
so
what that is.
irritated. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Produce real quick because literally every single time I try to listen to somebody else's podcast, every single time,
Put the camera on him.
bro, like I'm not kidding. Every time I pull it up, I make it roughly between 30 seconds and 5 minutes into a podcast. I stop it and I go to ours and I listen to it simply because of the sound quality. Like for nothing else but to go, what is the sound quality difference? And ours is always better.
It is.
It is phenomenal. If you're not listening on iTunes with consistency, like when you're driving to work to catch the rest of the show or what you missed, go to iTunes, download it, subscribe, download, leave a flippin' review because the quality of sound, it is a shame that more people in the world are not hearing Producer's quality of sound that he puts out with this show because it is
Dang.
A+ looking groin. I'm talking about like when Pepper had surgery and that lady doctor said, your groin is better looking than any other groin I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
That's real life.
okay,
Yep.
that happened.
That happened.
That's the kind of sound quality I'm talking about. So, dude, shout out. You are
Thanks, dude.
freaking amazing at what you do.
You're on par with that groin doctor.
Yeah.
Golly. So,
Well, that's
my producing skills is on par with your groin.
Doctor.
okay. So Foles apparently is going to go to the Jags. The Jags are going to release Brodels because
Good.
they should have done it last year. Oops.
They should have done the year before.
And the year before, but okay, whatever. So Foles is going to go to the Jags, which is good news for us that he's not going to New York and he's not going to Washington. Why? Because they're in our division. And when I say our division, I don't mean we're Cowboys. We're just fans, okay? That's all I'm saying.
We live here.
We-
We gotta say it.
We do not
Yeah.
suit up
We
for the
don't
Cowboys.
suit up. None of us have suited up at this point for the Dallas Cowboys.
I
However,
don't think that's an issue. I don't think we need to clarify that.
No, we do.
I think that's pretty obvious.
we got accused of being Rams. After the Saints-Rams game, a guy argued with me that we were not one time, like on 3 different occasions.
Yeah.
He accused me of playing for the Rams. And I said point blank, I do not play for the Rams. I would, but I don't. Okay, so leads us to our next point. Jason Witten is back. Woo! He is, guys, the best thing that happened. He's out of the booth on
Yes.
Monday night. Thank goodness.
I think I'm more excited about that.
That's a
I am
bigger
too.
reason
Yeah.
that we're all happy.
Jason signed for $3.5 million with guaranteed another $1.5 million in incentives he can earn. The last time he played 98.6% of the offensive snaps, and he's agreed to take a reduced offensive role because they've got some guys coming up that they want to use and mix in. They know he's not a long-term solution, but he said, "Hey, I want to go back." The Cowboys wanted him. I wonder how that phone call went. And so he's going back. He's out of the booth. Jason Witten is actually not a stupid man.
No, he's not.
And we've never accused him of that. I'm just saying.
He just sounded stupid.
Audibly.
That's two different things. We do that every week.
Oh, totally. I saw
we
him.
don't get paid.
Yeah.
I told you I saw him in the doctor's office. I was waiting to get my son's shots, and I looked up. I was like, "It's Jason Witten." This isn't the first time I've run into him. I've never met Jason, and so I've just seen him a few different times. And always before I was like, "It's Jason Witten," because I freeze up around football players and stuff like that. This time I looked at him. I was like, "Crap, it's Jason Witten." I've been talking trash about him. I was no longer
Please don't see me. Please
starstruck.
don't
I was
see me.
just like, I hope he hasn't seen the show because I want to be like, "You're a phenomenal tight end. Thank you for all your service. Sorry for everything I said about you."
for your service. He's a serviceman.
You are a patriot, sir.
We're Cowboys fans. That's why Stephen A. hates us, and we don't care. Regardless, but he made $4 million doing Monday Night Football last year. He got $1 million bonus when he signed an extension and had a bonus coming from Dallas. They gave him the $1 million. He retired. They let him keep it. He then went and signed with ESPN, made $4 million. He's coming back for a possible 3.5 guaranteed. The dude just raked in $9 million for playing one season and talking about football another one and sucking at it. That is smart.
I wonder if he has Bradford's agent.
That was my next. You just stole my next point. You jerk face. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I apologize. Forgive me.
I'll just cry about it later.
Tyson,
Okay, that's cool.
Tyson was saying he doesn't think that the broadcast could be much better without him, and 100% agree on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of
Anybody on that?
Booger's little car that he drives around.
Would you do it?
Yo, yes.
Okay, I would too.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we're being
I
honest,
could do just as well.
You could. That is one thing that you could do.
Yep. That's how bad I am. I could do that good.
No, that's how bad he is.
All right.
That you would do better. Yeah,
I like to think so. I mean, I have a sports show.
that's one of the reasons we started it was to go, hey, let's do this. So we're doing it.
We're doing it, man.
We did it.
We're doing it.
All right.
Okay.
I do think that Gruden and Tirico a couple years ago were way better. And I mean, obviously anybody's better than that crew, but I actually like that crew. I'll say it.
You did. You just said it.
I said it.
You did it.
I did it.
Yep, you did.
You did it.
Tyson just said that Witten will retire again, obviously, and they become a studio analyst, which is much more scripted. So that should be an easier. That'll be easier.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah,
Reading should be
Redemption.
yes.
Redemption is coming. So, Jason Witten, we're glad you're coming back. We're glad you're not talking in the booth. If I see you again, please don't punch me in the face. But if you do, tell me first so I can get it on video. We'll live stream it. It'll be great.
All right.
Yeah, moving on. So, NBA, anything else about NFL before we move?
They don't have the same agent.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well,
fair enough.
All right.
Thanks for looking.
All right. Let's move on.
Okay. NBA, Lebroin was getting railed on today in First Take.
And
Yes.
he will continue to
And-
until they make a playoff.
Yeah, so
But I don't think they. Hey, stat guy, can you look up the score of the game right now?
Which game?
The Lakers game. I don't know who they're playing. They're playing the Clippers tonight. So pretty much
Battle of LA.
everybody is saying if they lose tonight, there's almost no way they can make the playoffs.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Tyson Rose just said Witten is going to become a caddy for Romo in the PGA Tour.
They haven't started the game yet.
Oh yeah, it is in LA.
Actually, it should be starting right now.
Yeah, so it's not looking good for the Lakers.
Yeah.
There's something going on in the locker room there. because everybody's
Oh.
on different
They
pages.
changed clothes there.
Really?
Yeah, because it's something about
Every
LeBron
time.
wanting to trade all of his teammates
Mm.
and then calling them out.
Pepper.
Very interesting.
That's actually a quote from your father. Old Hugo Amador.
Yeah, that one stretches pretty far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's
So you're
an
saying
issue.
LeBron has a problem,
Huh.
or is a problem?
We're saying LeBron has a LeBron problem, but he also that LeBron problem has infected.
Growing problems can get infected.
Locker
easily.
room.
It is
Yeah.
contagious.
Spreadable.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so everyone's loins are all kinds of messed up in LA right now in the Lakers locker room.
Which so I will start off my statement by saying I think LeBron is one of the greatest players to ever play basketball. So let's
out.
all let's all be on the same page here. So
No.
when I say the next thing, I'm not saying he's not good.
Okay, you've clarified
You did it.
LeBron is good, but Jordan's impact on my life has been much greater because I'm still looking at Jordan shoes. Somebody asked me literally this morning. They said, "Hey, do you like Jordans?" They actually said, "Do you have any Jordans?" To which I unloaded the truck about my love for Jordan shoes. They then asked me, "Do you have any of LeBron's?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Have you seen his new ones?" And I said, "No."
He has shoes.
Yeah, I just want to make that real clear. Go ahead.
There is nothing more I want to see in the NBA than LeBron lose.
Absolutely. I think everybody at this table and that table.
And
agree
so
with
if
that.
Can I say something?
yes,
I like LeBron.
As
I
a-
like
as
him
a person-
I think from everything I've seen, his story is phenomenal. From where he came from
Yes.
to where he's at today, his way to manage his money coming in, having there was no period between high school and huge success. I actually have seen him online. I'm sorry. I don't know which ones are which. So like I do see them, but I don't know what years are what years, as opposed to Jordan's and
Me
I do.
neither.
Regardless, but his story is amazing. The fact that he's the family man he is, the father that he is, and not only that, his, like you said, the level of talent that he plays at, I don't feel like what gets conveyed inside those environments truly do convey who he is. That's a little bit contrary to what I would say, though, because consistency, it's like I should be who I am
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a break between that. I just got way too serious. I apologize for that. But I think he's a really, really, really cool guy. I think
Yes.
he'd be terrible to play with.
absolutely. And this past week, so there was a lot of media coverage on his lack of effort on defense right after he called out all of his other players.
Right.
You know, he basically said nobody on this team knows how to win in the playoffs, and then he gave very little effort on the court, and then blamed other people. Like he was getting mad when his guy dunked. He got mad at other people, and so people kind of called him out on that. And then he defended himself by saying, "No, I can play defense. I'm really good." And everyone's like, "Yeah, we know. You just don't
just
play
don't."
defense."
See, the argument that I heard as they were talking about that was he used to have, when he was in Cleveland, he had guys that weren't as talented, but they would play defense, and they would fill that in for him.
Yep.
And so he didn't have to work as hard from the D side of things. And then when they talked about Miami, again, he had a super team there, and so it was like, okay, we can't really apple to apple that thing.
We can score a lot
Yeah.
and not have to worry too much about defense.
Right. And so clearly there is a huge breakdown because guys aren't buying into the guy who's leading.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Luke Walton, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
He's not the
that's
leader.
Such a. I don't understand that hire, but it makes sense before LeBron was there. Now that LeBron is there, that person does not make sense as a head coach.
and I mean, let's be honest. LeBron does not respect Luke Walton.
Well, he doesn't respect
Anybody.
anybody that's not like over the age of, because look at Tyson Lue. I mean, he's young too.
Yep.
Young coach.
Blake Snodgrass said LeBron would have been owned in the early 90s.
I think that is true. It is a different game.
I want to hear Blake, not Moonlight, but
I was talking.
I know, but I wanted to hear Snodgrass unpack a little bit of his thoughts on that a little bit further.
Because they actually played defense in the 90s.
Yeah, they did.
Goodness. Why do you get so loud all of a sudden?
Well, because he doesn't talk and then he does talk.
Gosh.
That's
More of the
gets it.
shock value. If, like,
Yeah.
when you really want to get someone to listen to like classical music, you start bringing it down, and then all of a sudden it gets really loud again, and they're just like, oh wow, how fun.
Yeah, but you never get quiet.
Yeah, I do when I don't talk.
If you lined
I
up
got you.
a 69 Fender in a race
Mm-hmm.
with Celestial Beer Works
Yep.
and an M&M
Yeah.
and DK
An Eminem or like Eminem the rapper?
Metcalf, caramel,
Okay. Yep.
caramel,
He'd still be louder than
who
all
would
of them.
win?
Definitely.
Correct. Your level would be louder.
I would be
That's right.
louder.
Yeah. You got it. Nailed that
can.
one.
What can I say? Pretty much a genius.
Anyway,
Bill, Lambier
He's
Lambier?
6'11".
Bill
would have
smacked him in the-
smacked LeBron.
Bill
in his
Lambier was
LeGroin.
one of
Thank
the
you,
guys
Tyson
of the
Lamers.
Bad Boys.
yeah, there we go.
From
Okay,
Detroit.
So I don't think the Lakers are going to make the playoffs. I think,
Okay.
especially if they lose tonight, I think they
I know.
are done. And now the question is, should they tank the rest of the season to try to get a better draft pick?
How do you tank when you're an athlete? There's no way.
Here's the better question.
Take LeBron out. LeBron is still injured.
Yeah.
Then you'll lose.
Well, they'll lose with him
You
too.
can't
So
purposely lose
know.
on anything.
Should I get the Jordan 6 infrareds or the Jordan 1, like the blue ones with the red shoestrings?
I'd get the LeBron 14s.
I'm asking a serious question.
The man needs all the help he
What
can
were the
get
options?
at this point.
The man's made over
Jordan
$1 billion.
6 infrareds.
I know.
The reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to be a show that when we talk about LeBron, we actually talk about Jordan and like lesser things. Like we're talking about whether they make the playoffs and his locker room issues, and I want to talk about shoes.
What were the Jordan?
Jordan 6 infrared
Or
or the Jordan 1s. They just came out recently. They're blue and white, and then there's a red shoestring on them. If you look up Nike, they're still there. They're both in stock right now.
Nice.
Regardless. So moving on, the Celtics are imploding.
Yes.
Question mark. What's happening? Because I haven't watched very much of it, but I like the Celtics because they're from Boston, and I like those are the black ones right there.
or that
Yep.
one?
Yeah.
Oh, those the ones.
Pepper.
The
I
ones.
hate both, honestly.
Oh.
Wow.
I do not like Jordans.
Okay.
Here, actually, before we move on to the
Fair enough.
Celtics, Snodgrass came back and said the early 90s featured players who were the 50 greatest ever. 25 years later, people still talk about and recognize them. You can't do that with the players of the 2010s.
That was.
Well, it's because it's not 25 years later yet.
Nope. Stat. Oh yeah, then Stat Guy is correct. But I don't think we're watching players right now that we're gonna see the same domination.
Yeah. If you take baseball players from 25 years ago, we don't have that many guys that we refer to.
Correct.
Like we do with basketball. Football's the same way. There's a handful that we refer to, but not that many. It's not a generation of players that we refer back to. And like that's the benchmark for how we measure who's good, who's not. And it goes back not to one guy, but a whole group of guys in the conversation.
I feel like that's with almost every sport, and that's just. But I think the talent nowadays in most, like MLB, there is a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
And
There are.
none of them really. There's not a lot that stand out, but there is. If you were to line up those people, the level of talent to the talent 20 years ago, at least in MLB, it's way greater.
Yeah.
If you get past if you take out the chunk of the steroids,
Yeah, but baseball
there's a
also,
huge difference.
The game hasn't changed as much as NFL or
Correct.
NBA.
Yeah. No, it's
So-
just,
Correct.
It's, however, it is beginning to have some things that are being. It's changing a little bit.
Yep.
Slowly. So the Celtics are imploding.
So they have lost 7 out of 8 games.
That's a lot.
They are now in 5th place in the East, which
That's
the
not good.
East is not a good conference. All the good teams are in the West. So they were, before the season started, they were picked to go all the way to the finals and win. And now there's a chance they could keep falling. I think they'll make the playoffs, but they may be like first round out, which would be an embarrassment of a season.
Yeah.
Especially with all the talks on like how good Kyrie Irving is. When he's playing right now, they are not doing well. So the last 7 games that Kyrie did not play, they went 6-1. And before last night, the last 7 games with Kyrie, they were
They've
1
gone
and
1 and-
6.
1-6 or 1-7?
Now
Oh,
it's
they-
1-7.
Okay.
In the last 8.
Yeah,
will say-
they're not doing well.
I will say this: the Bucks are in first place,
They're good.
48-15, and the Raptors are 46-18.
Hmm.
So 1-2 versus 1-2 in the Western Conference is better. Warriors are number 1 with 44-19, and the Nuggets have 42-20.
Yeah,
But they also play mostly Eastern team division.
exactly. You got to
teams,
look
and they're bad.
at where they're playing. The Bucks should be dominating because they're in a weaker conference. If the Warriors were in the Eastern Conference, they might be undefeated.
I don't know about this year.
Hmm.
They
Well,
don't look like the team they
I'm
were.
exaggerating.
They got Houston's beat them 3 times now.
Correct.
Okay.
But we can transition to our next topic. So the Rockets are looking really, really good right now. James Harden is on another level.
Mm-hmm.
He is averaging like 36 points a game, which is crazy, crazy good. But I don't know if this will last.
He's the best in the league right now.
Correct.
What is the all-time
Points per game.
points per game for a season?
While stat guys
So
look
yeah,
that up.
so
They've said that he's moved back into that number 1 run for number 1
MVP.
spot for MVP.
okay, as he should. I mean, if you're gonna go off like that for that long, what is it?
Oh my gosh.
Wilt Chamberlain has spots 1 through 4. His best season was in 1962, scoring 50.36 points per game.
And that's over 80.
I'm sorry.
80
How many
games?
points?
50.36 points per game over 80 games.
Why don't we refer to him more?
Well, we don't, but
A lot of people do.
real basketball analysts do.
Okay.
James Harden's at number 7 right now.
I feel like I'm
And
starting to catch on to basketball a little bit, like understanding like some of what's going on and like recognizing names. If when we did this last year and we started when you said Steph Curry, I was like, I don't know who that is. I knew who LeBron was, but that was it.
I
And
wish
so,
you wouldn't have said that on the show.
Why?
Did anybody else feel like that?
What?
LeBron?
Okay, never mind. Keep talking.
that where sports show and he doesn't know who sports people are.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You don't know who Steph Curry was?
A year ago, I didn't.
Really?
He can do all
No.
things through Christ.
He did not watch any basketball.
Zero.
I
watched
knew who Steph Curry was. That says a lot.
zero basketball. But I'm like I've made an effort to
You're on
expand
it
and
now.
go, hey, like this is I actually when we start talking about basketball and we start talking about like the Celtics, I'm not like freaking snooze fest. I'm genuinely
Height
excited
alerts.
to talk more about it.
Yeah.
So and to know more about what's going on, and I really am. I walked into the Nike store in Boston and walked by like the uniforms on the mannequin. I was like, sweet. Used to I'd be like, why the crap is that there? Why isn't that a football uniform? So
So if we take that points per game list and take out Wilt Chamberlain, you got
Who's
MJ
left?
1 and Harden 2. MJ's at 37.09. Harden's at 36.68.
so he's knocking
Very
on the door,
close.
man.
Yeah, he is having an incredible season.
I mean, he's not knocking on that number 1 spot door,
If you take out Wilt Chamberlain, which
but you can't.
for the
'cause
aspect
he's
of
right
this
there.
right now, you can.
Look, he's right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to
He's
take
also
him
down
out.
here somewhere. Number 18 too.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an incredible player.
So regardless, Harden has moved back into the spot for potential MVP. Steph Curry's obviously still in the running. So is KD.
AI. Man.
KD's gonna move though.
We don't know.
We don't
And
know.
he's not going to talk about it till after the season,
He got pretty touchy.
which is fine. I think the media does need to stop asking him those kind of questions. Like he is worried about this season. He is a
Yeah.
team player. He is part of a team. and
He's a team player for the team that he's on or that he's going to. Because when he left Oklahoma, like people were up in arms
Right.
when that happened.
Which everybody's mad when anybody leaves at this point now. I mean, if you're one of the superstars.
Yeah, if you're a superstar and you leave.
That's why we
yeah.
all love Dirk.
But he was, to your point about winning, he wanted to win. He
Yeah.
took less money to go to Golden State on an already really good team, and he made them better.
And he's winning.
Yeah.
But he had a chance to win in Oklahoma. It wasn't like he wasn't making a run.
LeBron took more money and went to L.A. to lose. So who's
Yeah.
better, KD or LeBron?
LeBron.
KD.
Really? Career-wise? Or now?
Now.
Oh, okay. I can take that.
Lonzo.
Okay.
It's I
All
mean,
right, cut his
it's-
mic off.
It is hard to go to
That's
8
it. I
finals
got
in a
it.
row and not be a top 3 name.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yes, he is.
But he's also
He's been in the league 15 years.
he's getting older. His loins are feeling it.
As long as you're feeling it.
Clearly.
He's got some brittle loins.
Okay.
The truth of the matter is that you can't just put great players together and think you're going to win.
True.
It's clear against on the whole Western Conference. I mean,
Yeah.
you got James Harden and CP3 who are super, super talented, but yet those guys can't really seem to get it.
Chemistry, competency, and character.
Yeah.
Probably in
The 3 C's.
chemistry has to be right. You have to have good character, and you have to be competent at what you're doing.
And
If
you
you don't
need a
have those
leader.
first two, yeah.
You got to have a head coach who knows how to coach those people.
Yeah.
That was deep.
Thank you. Which is why our show's improving. We have chemistry. I feel like we've got pretty high character, the way that we handle things and deal with issues. Competency has been lacking in some areas. And we're raising the bar.
It's hard to get all three in stride at the same time,
Yeah.
but when you do, man, it's
Gold.
it's something beautiful.
It's like you're all wearing gold pants.
Yeah.
We will win the B-rated sports show podcast championships
Of
one
the
day.
year.
You're darn right we will. You're darn right. Okay, so Warriors are still good. They're going to be good. They're probably going to be in the finals
I think
Yes.
unless
I think
Houston
it's
makes
gonna
some
be
kind of crazy run.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be them and Houston, which will be a fun series to watch.
I will say this. I feel like a lot has turned down for the Lakers after LeBron made that comment about him not being in the Eastern Conference Finals anymore.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was just instant karma. And I love it.
Okay.
What about the Nugs?
They look good, but I don't think they'll sustain in a 7-game series against other teams.
Quality teams.
Yeah.
Because
That's the difference. That's one thing that's funny about basketball is like they just play one game against each other during the season, and then you got to play them a possible 7 times in a row.
so you don't have multiple series.
No, you don't have
with-
series against they played the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets played each other 3 times this season because they're in the same conference. But that's not true for every team, and so you don't get good looks at every single team all the time.
How do you play that many games and not play the same team multiple times throughout the season?
Because they don't
There's
really
a lot more.
they don't break it into smaller divisions.
Yeah.
So that's what I think they really should do is like the NHL, where so they have the NHL has 2 conferences and then they have 2 divisions within those conferences, and so like you play your division like 5 or 6 times
Okay.
each team. Then you play the other division in your conference multiple times, 2 or 3, and then you'll play the other conference like
How
one
many games are there?
82.
82? Okay. I thought there were
Same as
87.
basketball.
We're talking about basketball.
Oh, sorry. I was already in hockey. I was excited.
You jumped ship quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't say anything else to talk about
Let's,
in the NBA?
All right, let's move on. You're a KD fan though, right?
Yeah.
Like, is that your boy?
Not my boy, but I'm a fan of him. I like
Okay.
him a lot more than LeBron.
Well, you don't like LeBron.
Yeah, I like anybody more than
Fair enough.
LeBron.
Okay.
But I do
Westbrook,
agree
you
on
like him better than
no,
Westbrook?
both those are
Same level?
yes.
Okay.
But I
They're-
will agree with you on what you said about him as a person.
Okay, cool.
But also on the fence about it.
Fair enough. Moving on. MLB, Harper finally signed a contract with the Philadelphia Phillies.
Did he? Or was it DC?
Well, he
Yeah.
signed with Philly, but said he would bring a championship to DC.
Which will be odd if that's what happens. So he signs with Philly. They introduce him to the city. Sits down, puts on his jersey. He's wearing number 3 now in honor of, or not in honor, but in respect for old number 34, who passed away this last year in a plane crash.
Roy Halladay.
Holiday, the pitcher, and said, hey, like, I feel like he should be the last one to wear it, even though there's been a couple of the guys that have worn it since then in Philly. He still just was like, man, like, I listened to the interview while I did some work today, and it was impressive. And so Harper's responses and just his attitude, like, I enjoyed listening to him talk and listening to his take on things and how stuff worked out. And why it did, and just as he communicated about the whole thing. The Phillies organization, I think, is a quality place to go. Like, they were very family-oriented as they talked. Every time they referred to meeting with Bryce, they referred to meeting with Bryce and his wife, and were very much vocal about, like, family atmosphere. Here's how we're doing this. I loved his approach of – he signed a 13-year, $330 million contract. That's huge. It's the biggest ever. Surpasses Machado and Stanton. both on that. It's set up to where he gets a $20 million bonus, signing bonus, in June and November, and then he gets a $10 million base salary this year, and then it's $26 mil for the next 9 years, and then it's $22 mil for the last 3. There's a no trade clause, and there's a no opt-out. So everybody's stuck.
Yep. He's there for 13 years.
Yeah. Which means, and I looked at this, if by some chance my son makes it to the MLB, I'm not that dad, but I'm just saying, like, if he did. Let's just
So
say
you're
he
saying
did.
There's a chance.
If he happened to make it, and he's taller than 5'7.5", he could potentially play while Bryce is still playing in his contract. My son's 9. That's how long this thing is, to put that into perspective.
That is insane. Has that
Yeah.
ever been done? A double-digit year contract, no opt.
I don't think that.
Yeah.
Not that ironclad,
That's
because
insane.
was it 3 or 4 years ago that John Collar Stanton made that deal with Miami? It was 13-year, $325 million, but he got traded to
Thought it was
the Yankees.
326.
No, 320. He got 325. That's why Bryce was pushing the 326 number, so he could be $1 million more.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You were right.
Respect, out the door.
for Harper. Yeah, there's a few things I don't like about this deal.
Yeah. What are they?
So number one, he got an offer from LA, a contender, for approximately $45 million a year for about 4 years. Though they weren't willing to commit long term, but they were saying we will pay you number one, and he turned them down. And to me, that's interesting, because if you really are, if you truly think you are the best player in baseball, which I think Bryce Harper does, which is why he wanted number one money.
Except he's not.
He's not. He's not. No, we've got stats to prove it. He is probably the 76th best in the league.
Oh man.
Yeah, according to wins above replacement, he's number 76. So interesting. But there was a team saying we will pay you number one player in the world money,
Right.
and he said, "No, I'm good. I would rather have the blockbuster deal," but nobody was willing to pay him that amount, so that total amount of money over 10 years, because teams were saying you're not worth it for that long.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, that deal for 4 years would be $180 million compared to the $330 he got. Right?
So more than half for less than half the time.
Right, 4 years. But overall, like, so I'm guaranteed 330, or I'm guaranteed 180.
But over what time?
The biggest winner is Bryce in this. Yes.
Yeah. Here's my question. You don't like Le'Veon Bell because he passed 14 mil to play for a season. Like, you're upset with him for not taking 14 mil over 0. And so he took 0 instead of 14. You're mad at Bryce for taking 330 instead of 180.
No, very different. Two different sports. Football is not guaranteed
Nobody's
money.
going to save a lot, like a longevity turn
That
on a running back.
a franchise tag, the 14 mil was guaranteed.
Only 7 was guaranteed.
You're mad at Bell for not taking. You're mad at Bell for choosing 0 over 7. You just made the argument stronger, and you're not. And you're mad at Bryce for taking 330 over 180. Do you need a calculator?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know why I'm mad anymore.
That's what I'm asking you.
I'm trying to figure
I
this out.
forgot why I was mad. The thing is, the Phillies are the biggest loser in this whole thing.
Yes.
Signing someone in baseball to a 13-year contract is the dumbest thing you could do. For
Yep.
somebody who has not really proven themselves to be consistent, even throughout a season, to sign somebody for 13 years, why? The LA should be glad they didn't get him.
Yeah.
LA. Okay, I'm sorry. LA would be good to get him on a 4-year deal. Yeah, that'd be good. That's about his cap.
That's a normative. That when we talked about deals, that was around what we said. Hey, here's what we would give for him.
Yeah.
The money was a little bit more, but the years were about the same. And I agree. I think 13 years is an absurd.
So dumb.
That's
But-
why I brought up my 9-year-old could potentially play
Yeah.
with him.
But that's, like I said, he wanted.
Again, I'm not that dad. Like, I'm not saying my kid's going to make it. I'm just saying year-wise, if that happened, if he's the 0.0000001% out of the whole group.
But I think he showed his true colors in this deal, because he just wanted to hold the record and not actually win. I don't think he actually cares about winning.
Oh, well, who do the Phillies have right now? Because they made some moves in the offseason to bring some guys in to make that a better team.
I think he knew that there's no super team in baseball, and there never will be.
Yeah,
and you can't go chasing championships in baseball.
That is true.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I think like to the rub in that is that he said, I don't want an opt out. Like,
right.
Do not give me it.
He's
like he told his
we're
agent,
married.
do not give me an opt out.
Yeah.
And so that's a big statement. Yeah, you are shooting for the moon and going, I want to be the highest paid. Okay. But you also said, like, I'm not being a Bryce Harper's a diva. He's got 2 hair dryers. Like, yes. Like, he'd probably tell you, yes, I am a diva. Plain and simple. Like, that's just part of it. But at the same time, he also was undiva-ish in saying, when I'm coming, this is where I'm playing. I'm not going to come here and stay for 2-3 years and go, we suck. I'm jumping ship and I want to go somewhere else. I'm not going to treat it that way.
Because he doesn't care about winning.
Exactly. I honestly think in 5 years they're gonna regret that deal.
It's a double, like, you don't really know exactly what he's trying to prove. From what we know of him, it is sounding like, yes, he just wanted the money and he's not a commitment. That's not the reason he went there, was for a commitment.
He would have gone anywhere for that.
He went there for the contract.
Yeah.
And the money, which is dumb because somebody's going to pass that record. Like, you're not going to hold that record forever.
Well, yes, you got it, and you're not going to hold it forever. But at the same time, it's $330 million. There's a proverb that says, like, it is a blessing, like that's an honor for you to store up an inheritance for your children's children. Like, he just did it last week.
But at what cost?
Playing for
Playing
the
winning.
Phillies
Baseball?
for the rest
Playing
of your
baseball.
life.
No, winning. I don't think the Phillies got that much better by signing him.
you can't.
I'm sorry.
Worse.
I'm not on the Harper train. I don't think he's that good.
You can't. No, I agree. I think the 13
And I think-
years, like you said, like,
dumb.
is there a team that there hasn't been a team that has signed a 10-year deal that hasn't regretted it? Albert Pujols is playing out his deal in
L.A.
In L.A. I almost said Anaheim. For the Angels, he's playing that deal out. He's done. Like, Pujols is not the guy he was 8 years. He's got 2 years left on that deal.
Yep.
I thought he retired. I legitimately, I thought the man retired, and I saw something, and I was like, wait, Pujols is still playing? I don't treat baseball the way I do basketball. I love baseball. I always have. So I literally thought the guy retired, and I was like, he's got 2 years left. And it was a shorter deal than the Harper deal.
Yep.
What's up?
What about Derek Jeter, 10-year deal from 01 to 10?
But is that
He's
a no
Yankee
opt-out?
royalty.
That's
That's not no opt-out. It's just like
How many-
well, that was what
do
how-
you think the Yankees regretted that?
How many championships did they win in that 10-year period?
Probably a lot.
A lot.
Well, can we look that up?
yeah.
Sodgrass said that the Yankees were once a super team. Totally agree with that.
Yeah.
That
They were.
yeah, he said
Yeah.
that ship has sailed for sure.
Tyson says Bobby Bonilla says a long-term salary deferment is a brilliant idea.
Do you know this story?
Bobby Bonilla?
So the Mets at one point had signed him to, I think it was a 10-year deal. It was a pretty long-term deal. They cut him, but his money was still guaranteed, and so he like I say, because it's guaranteed, like they have to pay him up. They didn't have the cash to pay him the rest of it, so they said, hey, you know what? We will take a penalty and pay you out over 30 years. So
I have heard this.
his like $1.8 million left on his contract ended up being like over $26 million, and now he gets
hysterical.
every June he gets a paycheck for like $1 million
How old is he?
until 2039,
Yikes.
and he's in his 50s.
The deferment for the player, the long-term deal for the player is phenomenal.
It's great for the player.
A-Rod, for example,
Yeah.
the Texas Rangers,
Still.
massive contract. But the Rangers paid him he would come to our house and hit dingers, and we were writing his paycheck, and he was wearing freaking pinstripes while he did it. That's a phenomenal move for a player to
Yeah.
sign a deal like that.
So yeah, Pepper put it correctly. The loser in this was the Philadelphia Phillies. I think they will regret signing him to a 13-year deal.
I agree.
I don't know if he'll finish out those 13 years.
When the man's 40 years old, they're going to regret it.
Yeah.
I think he will bring
Before then.
revenue.
How old is he?
26.
28, 26?
He's 26. So he'll be done at 39.
Yeah, so I guess when he's 40, they won't regret it.
Unless they're still paying him.
Tyson Little Rose, he'll be the most expensive 275, 35, 95 outfielder of all time. That's probably true.
Yep.
But I like him. I like his attitude. I like his style of play when he's hustling. I like his hair. His gloves are sick. He got off the plane holding 2 gloves and carrying a bag. And I was like, why didn't you put them in the bag? He's like, I'm ready to play.
for DC.
Yeah, for DC.
He's ready to win a championship for DC.
I hope Philly brings back the powder blues.
Let's do it.
That would be sick.
So, I guess going back to the point of the whole point was that everyone else heard what he said because I think he
didn't know
realized
it.
mid sentence, and then that's when he came back around and said it again with Philly. But another baseball player took hold of what he said, and so Produce, can we get that picture up?
Mr. Syndergaard.
So Noah Syndergaard of the New York Mets had an Instagram post that he posted yesterday, basically saying that nope, that's not it.
Kyler Murray.
That he
What?
also
Oh, you're
wants
in
to bring.
Arizona?
He wants to bring a title back to DC. Oops, I mean Queens. So some serious shade. That's not even shade. That was like
That was a legit throw.
throwing darkness over.
I will say
Over
this:
Harper.
Good job, Noah.
probably
No, shade is.
the first appearance that he has against Syndergaard, he will hit a dinger.
Off Syndergaard.
Yes,
Yeah.
like he will eat those words.
I don't know Syndergaard. I think he's gonna have a good season. And he also told the Mets that he has no interest signing a long-term deal with them.
Real quick, Blake Snodgrass said the powder blues are so 80s, but the 80s are back. So
It all comes back around
baby.
you were saying Syndergaard has no interest in signing?
with the Mets
Okay.
long-term.
I think Mike Trout obviously might end up with Philly though.
Now
in the
that
next
would be
couple years.
interesting.
And then you've got something else going on.
Yeah, but he will make less money and be a better player.
Who's that cat that played in Pittsburgh and then played in San Fran? Multiple All-Star outfielder.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by Kendall's
Yeah.
I'm
comment.
so sorry.
Kendall is saying that the Yankees will win the World Series and then sign Judge to a record-breaking contract. The Yankees will not win.
I'm
but
not
they-
counting them out.
But they might sign Judge to a record-breaking contract.
Bold right there. That's bold.
They love them some
Aaron
some
Judge. Agreed. That's what when they
I
find
also
guys they
think-
love, they sign
yeah.
them forever.
I also think he is highly overrated.
I agree.
I don't think he's overrated, but I don't think his longevity will be there.
No,
Will
He's a
last.
great player.
he's a big guy too.
But
So
he is.
I went to the Yankees game when they were in town last year and saw Judge pretty up close.
That
Wow,
was a little scary.
he's a big man, 6'7", like 260,
Hey,
The fact that he does move, he can move
Yes,
out
he
there,
can.
and he can hit.
and he's young.
he's an
And he's a-
athlete,
Yep.
but he'll slow down.
Yeah, his size will catch up to him in,
Yeah,
in
it's like
baseball.
Frank Thomas.
Uh-huh.
He's gonna
Frank
move.
Thomas was a beast when he was in his 20s.
Brett Gardner being a babe does not mean they're going to win.
Also, not true
If
at all.
if that was true, Harper would have a title because Harper is a
Kendall.
good-looking man.
Brett Gardner.
What do you think about Judge moving to first though? Overtime,
It's a normal move.
but he
Yeah.
could do it.
Pujols.
His
This guy-
his neck is bigger than his head.
What?
Well,
What?
yeah, that's not going to be showable.
I know. I tried.
Well, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else baseball we want to hit?
Who still needs help? We do.
We
the
do.
Rangers, please.
We're about out of time, and if you want to talk any NHL, we need to.
Oh, can we just mention that Nolan
Jet
Arenado
gears.
signed for a bigger per year deal? He signed
How much is
for
it?
8 years, $280 million. So it's
Oh, wow.
$32 million a year.
So
Third baseman for the Rockies. The Rockies are going to be fun to watch this year. Watch them.
yeah,
I don't have that
What's
channel.
their shortstop's name?
Trevor Story.
Yeah, Story.
Irving boy.
Yeah, he's from the Metro.
Yep.
So
Kendall wants to know why Judge is overrated.
Look at his stats.
because he's
Strikes
overrated.
Strikes out a ton. He hits dingers.
What?
Actually,
Dingers. He hits dingers.
fairly poorly after the home run contest.
Exactly.
But that's
How many
just
how many
home run
strikeouts?
contests.
How many strikeouts did he have this year? And at one point he went 0 for 26. Yeah.
Was it 7?
Talk about some
27?
redemption.
Or 0 for 27. It was something bad.
It was
It was really bad.
That's like Tebow bad.
Yeah,
He had 152 this season.
152 strikeouts. That's bad.
He had 208 last season.
How many?
That's really bad.
How many hits did he have?
Hits. He had
He had
115. Oh.
Ouch.
He struck out a lot.
Yeah. What was his batting average?
Low.
278.
No, not bad. Not that bad.
That's not terrible.
bad.
That's not bad. But if you strike out that much, that's not
Home
good.
runs, yeah.
That's a lot of
27
striking.
home runs.
112 games.
Yeah. All right. Quickly, NHL. It exists.
Blake Snodgrass
Yeah, it
said
does.
the Stars will be lucky to make the playoffs.
That is also true.
They're done if they face
OPS
Winnipeg.
919 is his OPS, Kendall.
Okay, we're moving on.
Not bad.
I'm answering the questions, okay?
Cool.
Okay,
This is
cool.
like this whole thing of our show.
Answer the questions,
Fuck
man.
me.
You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Is anybody is Little Rock on YouTube?
No,
No.
he couldn't watch tonight.
We had a green arrow. Pancake the Cat's here.
Ah, what's up, shorts? That's what I'm talking about.
There he is.
Pancake the cat.
Yeah. So NHL season is starting to come to a close. There's about 18, 19 games left in the season, so everybody's making their playoff push. The Stars made a trade 2 weeks ago for Zuccarello, and then he got injured 2 periods into his time with the Stars. But he
that
recorded
sucks.
2 points, which was impressive.
Oh wow.
So that's
2
good.
periods, 2 points.
Points.
Yeah, 1 point per period.
Now that's not overrated.
That's a stat.
Yeah, people were so mad that we got him, and then he recorded 2 points, and everyone's like, "Oh, never mind."
And then he got hurt,
And then he
they're
got
mad
hurt,
again.
so he's out for 4 weeks because he has a broken wrist because he took a puck to the wrist.
Sean Hyde, what's up, man?
So who's your hot contenders?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay is looking really good. I
They
like.
play hockey?
They have a hockey team.
Tampa.
They've got a great stadium too.
What
so
team do we like?
Tampa.
No, we don't like Tampa.
They
We just
got-
had it last week.
they got cool jerseys though. Actually, they're called sweaters.
We
But,
like the Ducks.
Yeah.
No, we do not.
Yeah, we do.
Duck fans.
Big
Quack,
Duck
quack,
fans.
Quack, quack,
Quack,
quack,
quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack, quack. Yes.
You guys practiced that, didn't you?
Nope.
Actually, no, we didn't.
I hate everything.
That's how we're gonna start every NHL talk.
Oh,
You're gonna
man,
love
I
it.
just started to like
You're gonna
hockey.
love it.
Form the flying V.
Yeah.
For the Flying V.
That's why the table's in a V-ish shape. I'm sorry. Who else do you like in the playoffs?
Winnipeg is not bad. I don't think they're going to make it through though. Even though the Stars may lose to them in the first round, I don't think they're going to make it through very far.
Okay.
Man, St. Louis has looked good recently, and I hate St. Louis, but they look pretty dang
We
good.
all hate St. Louis.
We all.
Yeah,
I legit hate St. Louis, and I didn't even know they had a team.
yeah, the Blues.
Definitely hate them.
hate them more.
Even more now than before.
Yep. So I'm trying to think who.
If
who
you
else?
had to pick a winner, who would you pick?
Tampa.
Okay.
Who will they face?
The Golden Knights.
I don't think the Golden Knights will do as well as they did last season. They may make it deep into the playoffs, but
They won last year.
no, they lost.
lost.
But they made it to
They
the
made
Stanley
it
Cup.
in their
Their
inaugural
season.
That is phenomenal.
Yeah, that is impressive.
That's almost that. No, that's more impressive than anything else that's happened as far as like firsties. Like you've got the Eagles winning the Super Bowl last year with a first year coach. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Except it was Philly.
So it wasn't really that
No,
cool.
that's
Wasn't that cool? But the concept was cool.
Yeah.
That guy was a pastor. Did y'all know that? Before he was a football coach, he was a pastor.
Who?
The coach for the Eagles.
Doug Peterson?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Maybe others should take note.
Maybe think about
Sean McVay would have.
Hey, Philippians 4:13.
it. Okay. George Graham said that Tampa is phenomenal this year, on pace to break wins, points in the NHL for a season.
Yeah, that's I wasn't kidding around when I said Tampa. They're good.
And Calgary, possibly.
Yeah.
Blake hasn't given us his thoughts because he just says lost to Washington. So I don't know who that's about, but
The Golden Knights last year.
okay. Oh,
So that
Got it,
Mr.
thank
Sink could jump into
To
the
oven
fountain.
oven sink, oven kitchen.
Oven Kitchen.
Whatever.
Yeah. Ovechkin. Ovechkin. See, I know a name.
The sink's
I'm-
in the kitchen, so that's close enough.
Competency is rising rapidly.
Yeah.
It used to be mic technique that we sucked at.
I still suck at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at you. You actually, that was on
Oh.
cue. Literally, I went like this, and you said, "I still suck at it."
I'm still
Phenomenal.
I'm still looking at Aaron Judge's
That was
stats.
phenomenal. Anything else you want to throw out for hockey? Are we gonna go to a game?
Yes, let's go
When?
to a game.
The
I don't
outdoor
know.
game in Dallas.
I don't know.
We are going to that. We're going to Al Gore.
Al Gore.
We're going to go see Al Gore in Dallas, outdoors, playing for the Stars, and we're going to go to the Frisco Amarillo game.
So January 1st, 2020, the Stadium Classic will be at the Cotton Bowl, and it will be
That's awesome.
It will be Dallas versus Nashville.
Is that the same thing that they do? Like when I was at Fenway Park in the tour, and they had a game, like they had this wall of all these pictures of the events they've had other than baseball, and there was an outdoor hockey game. Is that the game?
Yes.
Okay, so that game moves around. It's not just in Fenway.
Correct.
Okay, we are
There's
definitely
only
doing that.
one a year.
Sometimes they do 2.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But I don't know if they're trying to like limit it now. But the fact that it's coming to the South is a big deal.
That's awesome.
They
And
had
it's
it in
when?
LA and it was weird.
When is it?
It will be January 1st.
So they schedule it obviously for the.
Yeah.
Okay. They schedule way in advance.
Yep.
Unlike us.
Yeah. So real quickly, moment of silence for Ted Lindsay. Ted Lindsay played for the Detroit Red Wings back in the 50s. Won 4 Stanley Cups with the Red Wings. He helped start the NHL Players Association, so he was a player advocate.
Okay.
He died today.
Oh man.
So, but he did a lot of great things for hockey and for the public in general. He did a lot of charity work. Really great guy. Actually, there is I forget what there is a trophy named after Ted Lindsay now.
Oh, wow.
Because he did so much for hockey. So, moment of silence, and we talked hockey.
Raise our beers.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Well, that's a note to end on.
My bad.
No, you're fine. No,
Other
I'm glad we did it. I'm glad
Text-
you
text
recognized
Wait,
number
is
8.
hockey almost over?
it.
Like the conversation or the season?
Show's
The
almost
season.
Are you
over.
freaking kidding me right now? We quacked, and then
I said.
he went into it. There's 18 games left.
Oh, okay.
This is the playoffs.
I was trying
stretch.
to see if the Quacks were going to play the Stars here, but
Are they?
no,
Nope.
I don't see a game.
Dang it!
Nope.
On
Thank
schedule.
goodness.
I was going to say that's the game we should go to.
Well, we're gonna wear Ducks hats
Yeah,
all
we
through
are.
the playoffs.
no matter whose stadium
And
we're going
Stanley
to,
Cup.
we're wearing Ducks
Wearing Duck
hats.
hats.
Ouch.
No matter
There
who's
is
playing.
nothing. There is nothing worse than somebody wearing a team's logo
Okay.
to a game where that team is not playing.
That's actually true.
What?
That
What
makes
if
me
you're
so
in-
I won't,
mad.
I won't do that.
What
I
if you're
won't
in
wear
England?
a Ducks hat to the Stars game.
When the Jaguars go play their home game in England, there's always random jerseys.
Because
Yeah.
it's Europe.
That one's
Because
kind
they're
of different.
playing in London.
Yeah, when they're
which
play-
I think is stupid.
It's the dumbest.
It's
It is
so
dumb.
stupid. We'll hit that next week.
Hi,
We'll throw
Stephanie
that on.
Wright
What's up,
/
Stephanie? Okay. Is that it for tonight?
Yeah, glad you showed up right on
We
time.
got a lot in tonight. Hey, thanks for watching the Bush League Sports Show. Please go and listen on iTunes if you didn't catch the whole show. They drop on Tuesdays. Ooh, that did not come out right. The whole show or the entire show. Please catch those. They drop on Tuesdays. Subscribe, download, and leave a review. Bush League Sports Show is on Instagram at BL Sports Show. Check us out there. Funny sports memes and debates. You can share your thoughts, opinions. You can interact with people. It's great. And always, we're on live stream, YouTube and Facebook every Monday night at 8:45. We're not the experts, but we are the best. We're the experts. Have a great week. We will see you next Monday. We have 11 followers right now. Live, like viewing right now. There's a lot more on Instagram.